Hello everybody. Well, here's another gem. And the story how I got this couldn't be any better. First of all, this is a John Deere number 44. On the other side of the plow there's still a marking number 44. And after some Googling research, I found out this was made in 1948. And everything still works. Now, how I got it, the owner that had it before, he had it in the woods. It sat there for over 20, 30 years, maybe even 40 years, who knows, because the tree that grew up on the wheel, just like this one, but on the other side, it has a gearbox that raises and lowers it if you pull the rope. The tree grew up through the spokes and it got up on the other side of the wheel on the gearbox side. And the only thing I had to chop that tree was a hatchet. And what I did is I chopped the top end of the tree first to get it out of the way. Then I got down there and started hacking away as closest to the ground as possible. When I finally broke through, just enough so the wheel would move if I was to pull it. Because the wheels and the plow were in the ground probably about 4 to 6 inches. That's how far it sunk in the ground before the tree probably grew through it. So that's why I say it sat there way longer than that tree grew up through it. But I went up there and brought it down, and he was just as shocked to see I got it out of there and everything still moved. And so he kept his word. He gave it to me. It didn't cost me nothing to get it. Now, the future, I want to get everything back to tip-top. And by doing that, I have to take everything apart, and where things are wore, put a shim in there, put some kind of a grease fitting in there. Excuse me, sorry about that. And that way it brings it back to where everything's supposed to be. So if you like antiques and like this John Deere plow and my tractors, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And especially once I get a garage, you can see the work of bringing these back to the way they came out of the factory to the former glory. And then you can see them back in action. And because the only thing I do afterwards is plow my garden and that, at least with this one. And maybe in the future I can take them to the old antique tractor shows. And so I don't know how many of these are. I know there's a lot of them out there, but as years go by, more and more make them their way to the scrapyard. So, but anyways, subscribe and tell your story if you know somebody has one, or if you have one, an old, regardless if it's a John Deere, International, Ford, whatever. Tell your stories, and that I like to hear them. And until next time.